The following footage in this particular video I took utilizing an ROV. It's a new tool that I've got in the kit, and I'm very blessed to have. With that being said, in this particular lake, which holds some incredible history, no powered craft are allowed in this lake. I've been granted exceptionally kind permission to do this, and my hopes is to locate and better document each of these trees as I can locate them, the vegetation, the mosses, things like that, how they expand or contract on the white substrate, whatever I can document in 4K film. And also give people an interesting perspective as to, things they can see that you can't see, from up top out of a kayak or something like that. There's one particular tree that's well known by the dock that is extremely fragile, much more than I ever knew before, even with all my other filming. But the ROV gave me the ability to get right on station and observe it and circle around it. So the thing about it is these trees in this lake, from my best guess, have been submerged since about 1076 BC. So you can look at that in a geological point of view and realize these trees were alive, and that's how old these trees are in this cold water. So when you're here, please don't touch them. Take great care and give them respect. Look, but don't touch. So in these following clips, these are all taken at the large part of the lake that's fairly murky. From the top down, your visibility is pretty poor. I was focused on this particular tree, but if you look in the back, you can see a vertical shadow and a smaller stump to the left of it, which at the time I was focused on this particular tree directly in front of me, and I hadn't noticed those ones in the back. It just reiterates that there are plenty more out there for me to find. And when I ran across this tree, I looked up and was like, man, that is a big tree. It goes up out of sight towards the top of the water. Ultimately, I think this one was about 12 feet below the surface. So that faint shadow back there is kind of how you stumble across them in the murky water. And when you do find one, you just kind of carefully head that direction. And everything out here has got to be done slow with great care. And get up there as close as you can, see what you can find. So in the murky waters, ultimately, this is what you're looking for, and you cruise on up to it and see what you were able to discover. So my current technique, once I've ran across a tree to determine that particular tree's height, is I'll take the ROV to the base of it and get a reading at depth, and then I'll fly it up to the top and get a reading at that. Once I've stabilized and I feel like I'm level with the top of the tree, like in this particular shot, I'm slightly above, so I will have to lower it down and just do some basic math, and that gives me the calculation as to how tall each of these trees that I discover are. So in this footage, as I was heading back to unloop my line from a tree, which I didn't know was out there, I was focused on the tree to get my line undone around it. But if you look in the back right, there's a vertical shadow that I had not noticed when I was piloting this. It will show up. There could be a tree laying down at the bottom too, but vertical, there it is that the arrow's pointing to, a vertical tree there that at the time I didn't notice. And then there's another shorter one just there. And those are the kind of things when I was piloting I hadn't noticed, but in retrospect, I'm able to find them in review. So this unique tree with the cutouts or wear marks, whatever you want to say, I have some old photographs from the early teens on up to the early 1950s that show a fishing platform that used to be on the lake many years ago, and it was there for an extended period of time. This particular tree is also in that general area. I'm ultimately trying to find out where it was anchored to, how it was anchored to, or any information I can find on it. That remains to be seen. But I do kind of wonder. Back then, obviously, they didn't have scuba gear, they didn't have diving gear, anything like that, because I think the earliest photograph I have of that fishing platform, I believe, is like 1902, 1905 or something of the sort. Reviewing the footage, you can see a vertical shadow back there that the arrow's pointing to. This is unable to, I didn't see this when I was actually doing the filming. I was just blindly searching around, but in review, I can see that. It just tells me there's a lot more out there for me to discover and investigate and see what I can find. So trees like this one are very easy to identify. It has unique features. In this part of the lake, though, where you can't see down and you're in the kayak or whatever and you can't see what you're actually looking at. The ROV is the one doing the discovery, and without Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, things like that, I have no way to locate a precise area where this particular tree is. So if you asked me to go find this tree today, I would have to search around and see if I could stumble across it again. So I haven't figured out yet a way to GPS mark this exact location like I could do from inside of a kayak. So I hope you've enjoyed some of this underwater footage that I've shared with you in this particular video. Utilizing the ROV moving forward, I should be able to now achieve some incredible footage and much more up close and personal detail video as I continue to explore and investigate this lake. My other filming rigs that I use are also valuable keys to different perspectives here as well. So utilizing ROV is just one of the tools in the kit to help put together a full and complete package of what I hope to achieve here. The ultimate goal, I really don't know. I don't really still understand what the drive is with this particular lake and me personally, but I heard someone say once that when you find someone interested, you find someone interesting. So I'm going to continue doing what I do and what I enjoy and what I'm passionate about. And hopefully maybe you found some of this footage interesting. Anyway, thanks for viewing. This is Dana Price from Amber Dog Productions. And I'll see you out there.